We are in a very receptive weekend, and I wanted to just hop on and encourage you to be in receptive mode, be in receiving mode. Allow yourself to surrender, allow yourself to detach, allow yourself to let go. I kept hearing like detach, detach, detach all morning. So there is something here that you need to detach from, whether that's an outcome of something that you want or desire, whether that is a project that you're working on, the outcome of that, whether it's a YouTube channel you're working on. It doesn't matter what it is. Anything and everything could be included in this. Detach from it. So detaching is this really deep form of surrender. And when we are in this state of surrender, this is a very, very powerful lesson that I had to learn is to move through detachment. And when you let go of something, it doesn't mean you're letting it go because you don't want it anymore. It doesn't mean that you're letting it go because you don't believe that it's going to happen or that you don't trust that it's going to come through for you. Letting go just really means that you are not gripping so energetically, so tightly to something that you desire, something that you want in your life. And because this weekend is so powerful, and because Venus now in the sign of Aries, now in her absolute power, and now in this beautiful forward momentum, it's like Venus is the feminine principle, right? So it's asking us to detach, to disconnect, to be in a state of poise, to be in a state of receiving. Because in that state of receiving is where you are in absolute allowance. It is where you are completely relaxed. It's when you completely let go. And what you're really truly letting go of and what you're really truly detaching from is fear. There are so many like statements and sentences and paragraphs in all the different religious texts that are saying not to fear, to not have fear. And fear is the biggest indicator. Anytime that you're worried or you're anxious or concerned about something, you know, there's always underlying fear to that, right? It's a fear, oh, it's not going to happen, or it's a fear that it's not going to come through, or that you're not safe, you're not going to, you know, get the thing that you want or something that you really desperately need, especially when it comes to finances, right? Venus actually is all about finances. It is the principle of finances. It is the planet that allows things to come into our lives. And to move into this state of receptivity means to really fully trust that what you need is going to come, that it's already actually here. But you have to be in that state of allowing to even believe that it's already here. To believe that it's already here means that you have to completely let go of any fear, any doubt, any worry about it not coming. And I'm telling you, this was one of the most difficult lessons of my entire life, was to surrender, was to let go of the things that I so tightly gripped onto out of fear. Out of fear that I wasn't going to have it, out of fear that it wasn't going to come through for me, or that somehow I wasn't worthy of it. So if there is anything right now that you feel particularly attached to, anything that you feel, and I'm talking about, like I said, this very unhealthy type of attachment, then look at it, sit with that this weekend, and just ask yourself, you know, what am I afraid of? Why am I so attached to this thing? And how would it feel if I would just surrender? If I would just let this go? Let the fear of not having it go. How would I feel then? And even right now, as I'm talking, if you just ask yourself that, give yourself a moment to pause the video if you need to, and just ask yourself, how would it feel if I gave myself permission to just let go? Because the moment that you do that is the moment that you truly stop resisting the flow of life. That is the moment that you are in complete surrender and you are in complete allowance for things to come into your life. And when you are in the state of surrender, what you're actually doing is you're making space for miracles to occur in your life. That is the moment that you become the shaped, not the shaper. Because we always want to shape, right? We are the ones that always want to control. We want to form the way things are going to play out. We want to very much be in that driver's seat. But this weekend is saying to do the opposite, especially as a woman, especially as a female, if you're embodying that female principle. But this applies to everyone, men and women, because this is a feminine principle, not gender. So can you allow for miracles? Can you allow Spirit to unfold something, to reveal something to you? Because the only way that Spirit can reveal something to you is through your receptivity. It's like you have to open the door. And I'm feeling this need to take a deep breath. So take a deep breath right now. Inhale through your nose. And just relax. Relax and let go. Let go of any worries. And I'm hearing the crow. I haven't heard the crow all morning. And right now, as I'm saying this, I'm hearing the crow. The crow is a signal of new beginnings. It is a signal of ending this holding on, this gripping on for dear life, ending the fear and the worry of not having it, of things not working out, of that project not taking off or your channel not taking off. Let it all go. Release all of that. And it's like, can you move into this receptive flow state where you are just absolutely doing for the purpose of creation, where you are only focused on the value that you can provide, not the outcome. Let the outcome dictate itself, and let the outcome be dictated by the passion that you are infusing into your creation. And there's a message here about joining the sacral and the heart center. And I've been feeling this for days. I mentioned this in my other video, my last video too, is bringing the two together, bringing creation together through the heart space. It's like creating, taking action through the heart space, through this beautiful, surrendered, deeply trusting, deeply knowing state where you just know that the action that you are taking is serving a huge purpose, where you are connected to the value that that action is going to produce. Like I mentioned in the last video, we are done with this cycle of forcing inspiration, forcing motivation, forcing work, forcing anything for that matter. We are done with this energy. It doesn't work in this Venus direct energy. Venus direct is asking you to do the opposite. It's saying, can you tap in to your passion, into your creativity, and allow that to guide you? And trusting your intuition, trusting when to take action, trusting when to rest, trusting when to pull your energy back, trusting when to give your energy. It's like this beautiful dance that we learn through listening more deeply, being connected to ourselves, being connected to your higher self, to your heart space. That is a whole different form of creation. Do you feel that? Like, are you getting a sense for that? Like, that's a whole different form of creation. When you are tapped in, tuned in, turned on, and absolutely taking action from passion, not from force, not from fear, not from attachment, particularly not from attachment to outcome, but purely love. Venus is the planet of love. She is the representation, the feminine principle of love, of nurturing, of giving from a very heart-centered place. So it's like we're asked this weekend and we're guided this weekend to tap into that energy within ourselves, to move from this energy, to connect to it, to feel into it. There's so much power in soft gestures, soft awareness, and conscious creation, conscious surrender. There's so much power in that. And when it comes to receptivity, there's also a very, very deeply highlighted energy here when it comes to relationships, when it comes to connections, particularly partnerships. Oh my gosh, beautiful birds. And when it comes to partnerships, there's this, if I feel into it, it's just like this beautiful tenderness energy that is available this weekend. So if you're coupled, then you may be feeling that tenderness rising within you, wanting to share that tenderness with your loved one. More cuddles, more hugs, more affection, more I love yous, like that kind of energy. And if you're single, then this is like this opportunity to call this type of energy in. And if you're alone and you don't even have any potential anyone in your life, then can you just cultivate this energy and this feeling within you and just tap into it and feel into it. Feel into the soft surrender. Feel into this soft intimacy and tenderness that you would love to share with another. Can you visualize yourself? Can you see yourself? Can you feel yourself in that energy? Sharing that with someone. It's a very powerful way to call that experience in a physical, tangible 3D form into your life. And this weekend is also very much about this, allowing others to show you who they are. Again, it's that receptivity, particularly if you're female. Like, can you allow yourself to be in this receptive mode and not be the one to always give, to always show up, to always be in that more masculine principle, but actually pull back and allow others to show you who they are through their actions. I always say actions speak louder than words. And I've always believed that ever since I was a young girl, like a teenager. I have always believed that 444 as I'm looking at the clock. That is always something that I have deeply believed. It is a value that I've always held very dear to my heart. I allow others to show me who they are through their actions, not so much through their words. Words matter too. And words but words actually carry a certain resonance, a certain vibration. You can hear in someone's tone of voice. You can hear in someone's words. Like, it's like you can hear intention in someone's words when they're speaking. If you are listening with your spiritual ears, if you're listening with your heart, when you are in that receptive, in that slow, in that flowing state, you can really, really tell when a person is genuine or when they're not. So listen more, tune in more, slow down more. And don't just listen to the words of what someone else is saying, but like feel into the intention behind those words. And allow that information, that vibe, that feeling that you're picking up off of that to guide your decisions in terms of how you're going to move forward, in terms of what you want to do or how you want to interact with that person. And when it comes to purpose, this energy is also about allowing others to show you the way forward. So not necessarily who they are, the way that you would observe them in a connection or in a partnership or in any relationship. But this is also a very, very good time to allow others to show you the way. People that have already accomplished what you are seeking to accomplish. People that have already reached the heights, the levels that you are seeking to reach. Observe their actions, observe how they do things, observe their business model, observe, like, there's so much that you can learn from that. And there's such an emphasis on entrepreneurship, on business. I'm feeling this really crazy push, and just there's like so many messages coming through about that, about supporting other people right now and delivering messages for women and men out there who are looking at entrepreneurship, who perhaps are shifting gears right now and moving out of like a corporate world or out of working for someone else and moving into creating their own business. I just feel there's this increase in that, where more and more people are tapping into their entrepreneurial skills. More and more people are feeling very called, very connected to create something. Creation energy actually was the post I made yesterday. So because I feel creation energy so much on the rise right now. So tap into the creation energy, tap into whatever wants to flow through you. It's really important to write things down right now too. Any ideas, anything that comes through, do not put it off for later. I've done this and made this mistake so many times, and sometimes it just leaves and it's like, boom, done. And you don't get the idea back, or the thought just, I don't know, it escapes the mind. When you receive something, that is a download. And when you receive it, write it down in the moment, put it in your phone, write it on a piece of paper, whatever. I have my journal here with me 24/7. It is always here and available and next to me, because even the other day I had that. I was just sitting and I was working on something else on my computer, and all of a sudden I had a thought, I had an idea about something, and I had to write it down. It was like a little sidestep within my brain from whatever I was typing. It was completely unrelated to that, and something else came through. I'm like, okay, I better write this thought down, this idea down. So there's a lot of this, gosh, it's like a rebirth is what I'm hearing. So much rebirth energy. We are truly, truly restructuring ourselves from the inside out. And this restructuring is happening on every single level of your life. Like, this is not just your relationships. It's not just work. It's not just your health. It's all of it. All of it. This is home, living situation, where you're living or how you're living, your daily routine, your health routine, what you're eating, what you're putting into your body, how you're taking care of your vessel, relationships, like I said, collaborations. My goodness, I talked about that in my newsletter, actually, just the other day that I sent out Friday's newsletter. Collaboration. There is this coming together, this need to come together, to work in partnerships, to work in groups, to share ideas. There was also this message I was getting about working in partnership with other people for a common goal, to create something together. That is the time that we are moving into. So if you're feeling called to, reach out to, if you have a channel, to other YouTubers and collaborate and do something together, if you are called to work with other like-minded individuals who are doing something similar or are interested in something similar to what you're doing, there are so many opportunities right now, and there's so much need. I'm hearing like there's such an emphasis on that. Spirit is saying, like, come together, create together, because you can create something really powerful and something that is going to be mutually beneficial. And I'm seeing like large crowds. It's like, it's going to serve the masses. It's going to help a lot of people. So tap into that, feel into that for yourself, and see where that takes you, see where that guides you. And there's also a message coming through about releasing the need to have things in the form that you want them. Again, it's that detachment. Let go of the form, okay? And completely release attachment from the form. Let the universe guide the form. Let the form create itself. Let it show up in whatever way it wants to show up. Because when we are very fixated on the form of how we want something to materialize, we are often so limiting and restricting the form of that. It's like we're basically saying to the universe, like, There's this one way that I want this to show up, and that's the only way that it can show up for me because I'm so attached to it. Let that go. And instead, just focus on how you want to feel basking in your success. How do you want to feel when you are already successful? What does that success feel like to you? This is so much to do with receiving. It's just allowing yourself to receive the feeling, to embody the feeling of success without dictating form, without dictating how it's going to look or who you're going to do it with. None of that. You're just kind of like open and ready and like available. That signals to the universe like, I'm open, show me. And then the universe is like, okay, cool. Now instead of a window, you've opened up a gate. Now I can throw all kinds of options at you. And then the universe always gives us an opportunity to choose, right? It's like, well, here's this option. Do you like this one? How about this one? What about that one? And then this is where your discernment comes in. This is where your intuition comes in. And you choose based on what feels best for you, what excites you the most, what feels most in alignment. So be the open vessel. Be the one who receives the gift this weekend. Be the one who is open to miracles. Be the one who is vibrating at such a high frequency of love that the universe has no choice but to materialize that love in different forms in your life. And like I said, be open to exchanging experiences. Be open to exchanging skills, ways of doing things with other people. So there's just such a huge emphasis this weekend on aligning with giving and receiving and just bringing that into balance, bringing that into perfect harmony within yourself. Where, like I said, you are in this very detached, very flowing state, which allows you to be super receptive and simultaneously also taking action in whatever form you are called to take action, in whatever form you feel inspired or motivated to take action. I was literally doing dishes when I kind of received this message of like, I gotta make a video because this detachment thing like wouldn't leave my mind. It just wouldn't. It just kept ringing in my head over and over, like, talk about this. This is important right now. And I think it's so important. And I think the reason why Spirit is emphasizing detachment and letting go so much right now this weekend is because this weekend is so much about receiving. We're in such a receptive energy. And if you came across this video, then you probably are attached to something that you need to release right now, or just like loosen the grip a little bit so that you can receive something beautiful, something powerful. It could be an idea. It could be a phone call. It could be a text message. It could be an email. It could be a cup of coffee from someone. We don't have to necessarily think in huge ways. However, we do need to be open to miracles, to possibilities. So that's what I wanted to talk about. That's what I wanted to share. It was just what I was super inspired to share. It's what Spirit was nudging until I listened to sit down and film this video. So I hope that it resonates. I hope that you found it helpful. Check out the description box to work with me, and for Otter Spirit, 20% off for these lovely bracelets, which I'm completely in love with them now. By the way, I absolutely love them. I just love the daintiness. I'm not even taking them off. I'm wearing them every single day right now because it's the exact energy that I need for where I am in my life. So check that out. You can get 20% off. What else? Oh, the newsletter too. If you'd like to sign up for the newsletter, that's free. Check out the description box for that as well. It is something I send out once a week, and they're always very channeled, definitely Spirit-led messages. I put a lot of effort and time into those newsletters because I listen deeply, and I meditate and I really tune in to whatever messages Spirit wants to deliver through my fingertips. So it was funny yesterday when I was writing the newsletter, there was a bumblebee, and it just kept coming around and it kept buzzing, and it was literally like it would stop at the doorway and it would hover. I'm like, okay, Bumblebee has a message here for this newsletter. And as soon as I looked it up, it just made so much sense. And Bumblebee is actually about collaboration. It's about working together, right? Bees are always in colonies, right? They build the hive together. They are such an embodiment of that team spirit. So it was very, I just love the connection that I have with spirit. And I absolutely love the connection that I have with nature, with Mother Nature, and the way that spirit uses nature to communicate with me all the time. So anyway, that's my rambling. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video. Have yourself a very blessed, receptive, love-filled weekend. I love you. Take care.